Well, being that you're not home, does that mean I'm going to get the easy interview or I'm getting the SAT interview today?
The way I'm not trying to go back outside, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. Because I'm really trying to avoid everybody.
Oh my goodness.
But
Oh Lord.
all right, we finna get on with your. Y'all gonna leave these SAT questions alone. God damn it. Okay. All right, we finna get your intro started and start these questions.
Okay.
Boy.
It's okay.
Anyway, I am not gonna pay attention to him because he flat. He doing this. He got somebody standing next to him. I'm gonna ignore that.
Okay.
All right. So today we're joined by Natalie, the brilliant mind and warm spirit behind the Urban Tea Room, a space where books meets blends, Jamaican culture roots meet the literary community. From growing up surrounded by the aromas and traditions of Jamaican tea culture, to blended flavors that nurture both body and mind, Natalie has created something truly unique. She collaborated with powerhouse authors like Jaquel J and E. Bowser, brought tea and literature together in creative ways, and even uses her work in mental health to infuse a little wellness in every cup. We're going to sip, chat, and dig deep into her journey today.
Oh, thank you. That's so great.
All right. So you grew up surrounded by Jamaican culture.
Yes.
What role did that play in helping you curate this dream into a reality?
Well, I think it just gave me a foundation of appreciation for tea, whether the wellness part of it or the community part of it. You know, when we grew up, everybody had to drink tea every morning. It'd be all different types of tea. Here's bush. Here, you need a washout. Here, you need a blood cleaner. Here, you know. But because Jamaica was under the British rule, more people who were under the British rule, tea was something that was also community coming and breaking bread together. And so it's just been a part of my life for a long time.
Okay. In Jamaican tradition, tea isn't just a drink; it's part of storytelling, healing, family moments. How do you translate that cultural heritage into the blends in your brand?
I think I try to do it in my own way, which is with my mental health and wellness. But I remember being a little girl and in Jamaica when they made your tea with milk or your cocoa with milk or whatever. I remember something that just sticks with me is how they cooled the tea. So in Jamaica, they had these little tin cups and
Mhm.
they would.
Yeah.
So when my grandmother would, it would be some of my favorite things, or my grandfather. So when I see someone do that, or I do it for, I haven't done it for any of my littles, like my nieces or nephews, but that was like so nostalgic for me. I saw my dad do it the other day, and I was like, oh man, I remember when Aunt Gwen or Babu or any of them did that for me to cool my tea so that we could all have it. And we had a very big family. So my grandparents had 10 children on my mom's side, and on my dad's side, they had 9 children. So it would be me and like a million cousins, and we'd be sit on the floor and we'd, and so those things always brought me back warm memories. So when I first bought the tea company, it was about the self care wellness arm of my practice. I wanted to promote more wellness, things that provided relaxation, and tea for me was a big thing. And so that was the reason for me purchasing it. And then I tried to make each package not personalized, but I try to infuse it with encouragement and mental wellness. Every package, even if it's just a tea bag, gets a mental health card, some encouraging mental health stickers, just to remind people that they're not alone, that there's
Yeah.
help out there, and just curating a space of wellness as best I can.
So, what was the very first moment you knew tea would be more than just a hobby and could become a business?
Honestly, it was totally accidental. It is Jaquel J's fault. Okay, I'm just gonna say it there. It's her fault. and I love her. She's absolutely awesome. But I had made a tea box. I absolutely love the Delgados. And, it was really funny. We did dinners, drinks, and Delgados last night on Zoom. And a lot of the women who came up said, the books had taken them out of depression. The books had taken them through some medical issues. It was really encouraging. But honestly, the books reminded me of my love of reading. I
Mm,
had I used to be an extensive, voracious reader, all topics, all genre, everything. And I had a million books, and I couldn't remember why I didn't have a book. And then I remembered it kind of was affiliated with my trauma post divorce. So what happened was when I moved, I literally left everything in my house and gave it to someone. And I
mm,
didn't take anything with me when I restarted life. And I think I just closed that chapter also with reading. And then, so when I started reading again, it was like a slow go, but I remember reading the Delgados and it just inspires me. I was like, man, and it brought me back to home. I'm from Brooklyn, and it gave me all my great memories again. And I just started reading really heavily, and I was like, I wonder if Jaquel likes teas. And I sent her a box, and she did a video, and people said, hey, can I get a box? Can I get a box? And I started selling the box. And I remember saying to Jaquel, I really like this. I would like to put more like media or something in the Delgado's box. I want it to be as authentic as possible.
yeah.
He was like, I don't think you should wrap it around just the Delgados. This could be
Mm,
bigger than the Delgados. And I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just a joy, just a joy thing to do. And so when she said that initially it didn't click. Like I just sat on it for a little while and was like, oh man, well, maybe I'll try to think of my own graphics or something like that to make it, the way that I'm visualizing it in my head. But then when other people started to reach out or talk about the teas or, whatever, I was like, wow, it really, she saw it bigger when I was seeing like, hey, I just wanted to do something really nice and other people liked it. So I was really excited about that because it combined two things that I love reading and also tea.
your first book and blend boxes were Jaquel J and E. Bowser, right?
Yes.
How do you feel those collaborations really just gave you the push to just excel with your teas?
Oh man, E was amazing. She did a video for me also. And when I first got into it, I really wasn't on TikTok like that. So I didn't understand the whole video and opening and all the things. So I was like, oh, that's so nice. They did a video and, I shared it and posted it. But they were really encouraging. They talked about the boxes in their groups and they encouraged the push. And, even when I was just a little bit like, well, I'm not sure, they're like, no, E was very much so, no, you got this, go ahead. Even E came back and ordered stuff that had nothing to do with her box and had to do with family and talks about and share it. And every author that talk about and share it. I was just flattered the other day. I read a book and the urban Tea was in the book. I was so excited. I was like, oh, we're in a book. So I was really excited about it.
So, how do you decide which books to pair with specific teas, tea blends, and is it flavor profile first or story first?
Always story first. I read the whole story first so I can get a an idea of each character. And then I start to look at things that the character loved or his appearance or her appearance. Look at A. Lewis talking about this loose leaf. I'm telling y'all, it's only tea out here, y'all. Tea, okay? And so when I think about for example, A. Lewis, Smoke and Fire. When I thought about Smoke and Fire, I thought about chocolate men. I thought about smoky. I thought about spicy. So when I got a flavor called Campfire S'mores and it was smoky and spicy and chocolatey. I was like, oh, that's perfect. And I added in a little bit more to it. And so I got a base for smoke that was very smoky, very chocolatey, very mysterious, a nice black tea. And then for fire, I spiced it up with chocolate and smoke, but also like a spicy ginger base. And everyone loves the blend. So sometimes it is just the inspiration that the characters give me. Um, I'm thinking about Quasim. Quasim, his favorite flavor was cinnamon and mint. So his tea
Mm-hmm.
was cinnamon and mint. You know what I'm saying? So I made him a cinnamon and mint tea. Capri was really a kind of all over character. She was still finding herself, but she was
Mm-hmm.
soft and feminine and sweet. She always wanted to do. So hers was a very fruity base. It was like a fruity cannoli base. And so I pull from personality, from character. Sometimes if something is mentioned, sometimes, like for example, facts with the mango. So his flavor was mango, you know. So it just depends.
Okay. So in the grand scheme of things, what does books and blends mean to you beyond the tea and pages?
You know what? I think it just means to me peace and calm. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I say that is a lot of times when people read, they get lost in the pages. It's
Mm-hmm.
really a form of escapism. It's taking them out of the reality of what they're dealing with. And the
Yeah.
teas help to give them a calm. It helps once you start sipping, you're settling in, you're reading your book, you're kind of really relaxed and regulated. So it gives to me peace, gives to me calm,
Yeah.
engagement, things like that, because we really get into these books.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That is true. Do you think tea has been lost in today's black culture? And if so, how do you hope to reintroduce it?
You know what? I think that it has kind of been lost because I think people don't remember the medicinal purposes and the healing purposes of tea. I
Yeah.
know that when I went to Jamaica in January for my birthday, we went to the beach and a lady was just walking down the beach with a bunch of different green herbs that are good for your body, selling it in bunches and bundles. And the people who are more American, they recognize that they bought a ton because they knew it wasn't something they could get here. And
Mm-hmm.
just the benefits of the teas. And I'm not going to say I know all the benefits of all the Jamaican teas, but I definitely know the ones my mama and grandmama used. And I
Mm-hmm.
like to encourage my nephews and my nieces to drink it, to learn about the medicinal properties, and to take from it what can be a benefit from them. And also, we hardly get together anymore to break bread and commune. If it's not online, so that personable, um, intimate contact that we used to have to break tea and to drink tea and break bread, it doesn't happen as often. Before you had to do it if you wanted to see and communicate with family. It was a had to, or it would take days and days and days with mail or whatever. Now because of the internet, yeah, we can connect, but that intimacy, that camaraderie, that community feeling, it just isn't the same. Not saying that it can't be curated. While it's great online, it feels even better in person. And that has
Mm-hmm.
always been the foundation behind Africans, African American, Caribbean, BIPOC culture.
You know, to you, how do you spark up? How do you use tea to spark up a conversation about culture, identity, and creativity?
Well, for me, I mostly get to talk about tea with my friends who are not bored of me talking about tea. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of times when people are asking me about tea now, it's about medicinal purposes. You know, my cousins who just had babies and maybe their milk has started drying up, you know, so me sending them, you know, fennel and all those things to help them produce milk, or women having issues, you know, with their female reproductive areas, or
Mm-hmm.
even someone do detox teas, you know, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So it more so is transactional than conversational.
Mm.
However, like my cousin, she does have conversation with me and we talk. And we can talk for hours and she'll be like, okay, Nat, this is what I need. And what I love about her, she's in Chicago. She'll tell everybody at her job, and then I'll have a job full of people like, does she got this for this, this for that? But I wish there were times they can just sit down, have a cup of tea, and just talk about their day. And
Yeah.
sometimes she started doing it, but I think it's going to take kind of an action on someone's part to be intentional
Yeah.
about bringing back that aspect.
Mm. So, in African and Caribbean history, tea has often carried municipal,
Hmm.
spiritual, and social meanings.
Hmm.
Do you feel the reconnecting with tea is also a way of reclaiming cultural roots that were disrupted by colonization?
Absolutely. When I first got the tea room, I didn't think of that. I was thinking of, you know, having that self care portion, but I was laughing when I was trying to create the reintroduction of the urban tea room under new ownership. And I thought
Hmm.
about why I love tea, and I was like, oh man, you know, I remember absolute positive memories with tea and family and friends in Jamaica. And so, you know, then it became, then Chicago, when I grew up there, then it became more of a wow, you know, it was like a throwback, like, oh man, I really had a really great connection with the teas and family and
Yeah.
healing. And so, hoping to curate a space now. So I just decided to curate like a brick and mortar so that I can create places where people
I'm
can
so proud of
come.
you.
I know, and read and carry on. And you know, it's a big venture and I'm a little nervous about it, but I figured, hey, I already own it, might as well use it. You
Facts.
know?
Facts. Many black elders talk about tea as a form of care.
Hmm.
The way a grandmother might make bush tea when someone was sick or having a bad day.
Hmm.
Do you see that same energy in your work you do today?
I think so because a lot of times when people come to me, they'll say to me, hey, I'm having this issue. What do you think about this? And I always encourage people to do their own research, even when it comes to teas. But I can tell them what I know and what I've heard. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I'm not saying teas cure all things, but I
yeah.
know that when I was growing up, my mother gave me that nasty surfing tea. I felt that.
Ugh,
I
but
hated it.
that shit is the truth,
It's
y'all.
terrible. It's
It's,
terrible.
it's the truth.
It works though, but it is the most terrible tasting tea on,
It
on the
is.
planet.
It is. It
But
is.
it works. And if you go to Jamaica and you get dog's blood or leaf of life, or now a lot of people are onto the soursop leaf or
Mm,
mango leaf tea, or we have a tea a thing. It's called tuna, and there are parts of it that can be tea and parts of it that can be actually made into products for like
yeah.
washing hair and all that stuff. And you know, it really is beneficial to know the medicinal purposes
Yeah.
and how it can be helpful, because you may not always want to do pills. You may not always want to heal in that way. And sometimes your body responds better to things that are a little bit more natural.
Yeah. Tea culture in the United States is often seen through European lens, white people lens, the afternoon teas, the fancy china, but your blends like tell a different story. It's like how intentional was that in shaping your brand?
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely love British, and that's, you know, British heritage. You know, our culture is stemmed on that. I love those aspects of it. But when I think about tea in my West Indian culture, um, it wasn't pretty. It looked nasty. Sometimes it tasted nasty. It looked nasty. Sometimes it tasted nasty. But we understood it was good for us. When I came up, and I had severe asthma, they made marijuana tea for me. You know what I'm saying? They did all types of things to help me with my ailment. And at the time, those things helped. They have stories of me as a little girl in Jamaica getting sick and what they did, and or watching my mom, and in Jamaicans, they don't even tell you what you drink. They're like, drink this. And you just like, well, what is it? It tastes terrible. Like, what's it going to do? But you understood that it was for your health benefit. You
Yeah.
recognized that you felt better. It helped you. Even today, something that I remember as a new girl that I hated, I don't see them even do it anymore. And I wonder, are their kids okay? Because when we grew up, my mother made us and grandma, they dewormed us like every, I don't know, 6 months to a year. We had to drink this terrible tea and it dewormed you or whatever. And I'm like,
Mm.
they don't deworm their kids. Like, are they okay? Like, are they okay? But when you notice your kids are eating too much sugar and overhyped and all the things, and I'm like, did they deworm the kids? Like, they all right? So I don't know, but that was something that they did. They made sure you were dewormed. They made sure your blood was clean. They made sure, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And even things that are festive are good for you. Like my sorrel ginger, sorry about that. My sister's calling my sorrel ginger drink. That a lot of people here love it when I make it. I make it in the butterfly lemonade, and that's their favorite thing. So I always
Mm.
have people order that by the gallon. But sorrel is absolutely good for you, for your heart, for your blood. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? The ginger is good for you. If you drink a cup of sorrel before it's time to go to bed, it knocks you out. If you're struggling with, you're gonna be sleep, okay, and you'll get the best sleep on the planet.
You got that on
But
your shelves?
yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna have to order that.
yeah, it knocks you out. If you get a good sorrel ginger mix going and you drink a nice cup of that, you could do it hot or cold. We drink it cold, but a lot of times our Christmas parties is a sorrel ginger with Manischewitz wine in the base of it or rum. It's their celebratory drink,
Mm.
but it all came with medicinal purposes, but it was also very much a part of their regular festive drink. So when you wonder why some of these people, I have a great grandfather who lived to 106.
Mm.
They lived longer. They were healthier. They were stronger. So
Mm. So, have you found that tea creates a different kind of connection at author events compared to coffee or wine?
I don't know because my very first vendor author event will be the Boozy Book Tour Chicago.
But even still, just your connection with the book boxes and
Mhm.
the readers that purchase the teas and stuff, do
Mhm.
you feel like it's a different connection?
Yeah, like I love my authors and the people who order teas for me, and I get so tickled. And I tell people all the time, like, hey, just send me a message, talk to me. We could work it out. I'm not super expensive. You're a small business. I'm a small business. Why can't we help each other out? And authors have reached out, and we've been able to do it and make it
Mhm.
happen. Even the other day with the young ladies from Ireland, Amanda actually supported them yesterday on their
Me
GoFundMe
too.
and everything, to help them reach their goal. And I got an author who asked me to read a book, and then I got several inboxes like, "Hey, once I get this together, I'm coming. I would like a box." And I told them I would love to work with you. I work with everyone and try to make it feasible because we need each other. If we're trying to build this community, we absolutely need each other.
Yeah.
I love you too. I'm very new to the bookish community, but I've been trying to get my feet in there, trying to make
What
waves,
you mean trying? You're doing an amazing job.
trying to do, and I appreciate platforms like this one and Nicole with Booked and Busy and Specs and Rex and all the other people who absolutely reach out to me, and they're supportive and they show up for me at all
Yeah.
times. Dorita Baker. Now, Dorita Baker has become my companion in all things. I'm gonna let you know. We always curating, curate
She's your companion in all the fucking shenanigans.
all the shenanigans. We're together, and we belong with you. You said we are a part of you. So Dorita Baker and I, we show out.
My God.
See, look, she already saying in the comments. Thank you, AA.
You work in the mental health field,
Hmm.
and how do you incorporate a touch of that experience into the teas you create?
Listen, every single tea that I create, I first of all, I'm intentional and I try to curate things with love. I believe that everything that we touch, we can pass that energy through things.
Mm-hmm.
And every single package that I curate, like I said, if you ordered the packets that are like this, or the tea bags, I send a 988 card, which is the national hotline on mental health and substance abuse. I send an encouraging mental health sticker. It's to say like, hey, you're not alone on mental health matters, or you're super dope. Your therapist is happy for you, or whatever, because I want people to be reminded about their mental wellness, along
Yeah.
with drinking teas and other things. This can help with your physical wellness, make you feel good, but I want it to also help you with your mental wellness.
Yeah. Do you believe a cup of tea can actually help the mental well being? And if so, how?
Absolutely. Think about lavender and how it relaxes you. If you have an anxious moment, drink a nice cup of lavender Earl Grey and just relax. It definitely relaxes you. A lot of times when you're having a cup of tea, you have to sit down. You have to pause. Most
Facts.
times you're not moving because it's hot, and take a minute to take a break. And sometimes this life can have you feeling like you're on a hamster wheel and there's
Yeah.
no stop. And so sometimes just sitting to take that cup of tea, take a break, it'll be like, oh, well, let me sit down and have this tea. What can I look at? Maybe I'll read my book, or maybe I'll just sit in silence. Some people don't sit long enough for silence to sit in. It's too loud for them.
Yeah. If I'm looking back, it's because there's a bunch of crazy people in this parking lot
It's
trying to park any type of fucking way, y'all. Oh,
okay.
I need a cup of tea right now.
Okay, I got you.
Oh my God. So, if you could create one mental health blend for
Mhm.
the Black literary community, what would it be in it? What would be in it and why?
Mm. Well, I definitely would try to do a little bit of a green tea base, maybe with some sorrel in it, and
Hmm.
maybe some mint. So sorrel can be um, what you guys call hibiscus.
Hmm.
It's in the same family. So, it will probably be like a mint, a sorrel, and a green tea base. I think that would be nice and calming,
That
and
sounds so good.
yeah, just nice and calming and easy.
Yeah, that sounds real good. What's one piece of mental health advice or affirmation you like to share with the listeners today?
I tell people all the time to allow yourself grace. Everyone is trying to, while they're trying to aspire to be more, sometimes it takes them out of being themselves, and then they beat themselves up for not being able to fit into whatever category they feel it needs to be. And
Right.
that perfectionist attitude, and it doesn't help. We have to learn to have some grace and self-compassion, and allow ourselves the time to just be.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a TikTok segment where you sip tea and talk to authors. What
Yeah.
inspired you to start that?
Books and blends. Actually, you inspired me. You
Oh, me?
inspired me. You did. I saw your podcast thing, and I was like, well, Storm talks to authors, and I speak with authors about their tea blend. I want to talk to them about how they feel about the tea blend. I want them to actually sip the tea blend on the show. So we always have our Books and Blends mugs, and we're sipping tea, whichever tea from the box that they love. And then we're talking about their book. And so we talk about how I came up with the idea for the tea for their book. We talk about their characters, where they got the idea. So we're talking about my creative process, their creative process, and just enjoying tea. So I just wanted to kind of reinvent community, even though it's digital around tea.
You know my favorite is Mason.
Yeah.
I my God.
Yes.
But that
Hmm.
chocolate one, y'all,
I
hands down.
just did a new one, and I think I like that one. I just did one, and it's called "Loyal to the Zoo" for the zoo toys. That and it is. It's kind of an interesting blend. So it's like crisp apple, caramel, chocolate, and Rubios. Just a really nice kind of
Mm.
blend.
Why is it important for you to create a space where literature and tea intersect in such a relaxed and intimate way?
For me, I just thought about the fact that so many people, we are at epidemic proportions around isolation,
Hmm.
epidemic proportions on mental illness and not wellness,
Hmm.
epidemic proportions for just stress. And I just wanted to have something that while you're in escapism, you're having something flavorful that may take you back to a moment that you love or
Hmm.
inspire and encourage you to have a moment while you're reading the book. So, really, for
Yeah.
me, it was about having an immersive experience with the book
Hmm.
while connecting with the text.
So, if you had to compare tea blends to book genres, which blends would match which genres? My God, turn the subwoofer down,
Could you repeat it?
bruh.
It's okay.
Oh my God. If you had to compare tea blends to book genres, which blends would match which genre?
Oh, man. Oh, man. So, for romance, oh my gosh. For romance, definitely dessert teas like sweet, chocolatey, fruity for me. I think that's really lovely. You can even have dry roses in blends, which is
Mhm.
interesting. For urban fiction, definitely those hardcore, stronger teas, Russian Caravan, Black Assam. Um, I have Pinhead Gunpowder, those type of blends. I think are more rough around the edges.
Mhm.
Paranormal, that one is a little bit. I think paranormal would be a combination of a really, really strong herbal tea that may
Yeah.
have a little twist at the end of sweet. So I think it would be more of a combo. Um, BDSM, a little angry tea. That's a little rough. I would definitely go more herbal, strong herbal. And the reason why I would, because BDSM is kind of a part of healing. A lot of people don't take it as such, but it is. A lot of people who are subs are people who deal with the bigger world in a more aggressive, stressful space. And when they're in that sub space, they are calmer in a healing space, having to learn to trust,
Not you making me proud.
having to learn. I studied, friend, having to learn to trust and be able to let go, which is a
Mm.
hard thing for people, because especially if you come from a place of scarcity and poverty and things of that nature, that tendency to hold on to things, even unnecessary things, can be
Yeah.
hard. And that could even be in how you run your business, not knowing how to delegate, not knowing how to communicate, not know, so those are things that people kind of can pick up and learn through these experiences that are odd. So, will add to traditional society. It's outside that realm. And so I think that that would be really good. So I definitely think like yeah, BDSM would be a nice hard tea, maybe a nilgiri tea or a. I'm looking at my tea wall. I'm looking at my tea wall. Um, I have so many a spice ginger, something really spicy, really strong. So yeah, but I also think teas can be really soft when you're thinking about like chamomile and lemongrass, and you
More
can
like a contemporary romance
yeah,
type.
like a contemporary romance, clean, clean and
Mm.
invigorating, things like that.
Has a book ever inspired you to create a new blend on the spot?
All the time. That's why I'm in the mess that I'm in now. Okay, all the time. I'm sitting here like, oh man. Actually, that's kind of what got me started with Jacquel's book, and I was reading. I was like, I wonder if she likes tea because, baby, I think this mint chocolate right here. This is mere. This is mere.
Mm, mm. So let me ask you this: are there any authors in the Black indie space whose work you feel pairs especially well with one of your teas, but you have never gotten a chance to work with them?
Oh my gosh, I have read so many people, but yes, I have not done one for Kimberly Brown and Aisha Bree.
Mm. Mm.
No, I did
Okay.
shoot my shot though. I shot my shot. I shot my shot. So
Okay.
it's a possibility. But yes, I definitely, especially the last one that they did with the purple cover, I love that. But I had a blend. I had a blend.
All right. So, what? Tell us about upcoming events,
hmm
but I want to know about the event in November, like with the Inspired Women. What
Yes.
can people expect? How can they get tickets?
Yes.
And how did that come about?
So us inspired ladies came about from being in Jacquel's group, and we host her dinners, drinks, and Delgado's Zoom. And we always wanted to do a dinners, drinks, and Delgado's live, but it never happened. Actually, that's actually how the Zoom happened because people kept saying, let's get together. And nobody was doing the get together. So I was like, well, are you guys okay with Zoom? So a lot of people were like, yeah, we'll do Zoom, we'll do Zoom. So I was waiting for somebody to come up with the Zoom. Nobody came up with the Zoom. So I said, well, I got a Zoom. And so Shay, who came up with the name, and I was like, all right, let's do it. And then the other girls just helped us moderate. And I think we've done our sixth one the other day. Ja always has showed up and come and showed out for us. So she always attends. She always gets to talk to the men and women in the group and have a good time. So that's how we kind of ended up together and decided to curate a business. Now, Family First Fire Always is actually technically our dinners, drinks, and Delgados live. We
Mm-hmm.
understand that Jacquel is transitioning into other stories, and the Delgados, while they'll pop in throughout the time, the family is kind of falling to the back while other families are coming forward. So
Yeah.
it was our 1 year anniversary as the girls doing the Zoom, and we thought, hey, why not let this Dinners, Drinks, and Delgados live be kind of like the farewell to Dinners, Drinks, and Delgados and the hello to the new people. So we wanted to make this an immersive experience. So
Mm-hmm.
October 31st through November 2nd, we will be hosting this 3-day weekend event. It's very limited tickets. We only have 125. I think right now we have less than 50 to be sold. So we don't have a lot. And the first night is going to be a Monaco masquerade sneaker ball. Yes. And then that Saturday in the daytime is our book signing and creative space. And when I say creative space, we have some interested creatives that are coming. And then that evening, we're doing a New York City style block party, kind of pasta pasta Caribbean style. And then on Sunday is moo margaritas, and mimosas.
Mm.
So you would have 4 different times to have immersive time with Jaquel J. And not only Jaquel, we're going to have Tatiana from the Zoo Boys. If you wanted to get the perfumes from Ronnie, who curated that perfume that sold out in 3 minutes, this will actually be the very last time he's dropping this perfume at our event. So
I'm
it
just
will
gonna
never,
send you the coin,
yeah, it will never be made again. It will
Lord.
never be made again. We have the narrators, Wesley Saban and Lawrence Baldry will be there. We try to make it absolutely completely different than any other event when it comes to immersive. The authors that are there are people that are mentioned in her book: Brianna Michelle, Simone May, Morgan Rose. We try to bring in all the things that would make this Delgado's Inferno's universe come to life, and we plan to have it decorated and curated that it would hopefully pass the vibe test.
So, how do events like these help grow the connection between Black authors, readers, and small businesses like yours?
I think it's I think it's really really important because I had never been to a book event ever until the 4Bs. That was my very first one, and I didn't even know how deep Black Book Talk was, but it was. I saw vendors there that did very well, and you got to meet people. I think us as community, just being in spaces with each other, we feed off of each other's energy and support, and that's what makes us grow. And then when people can see our product, touch our product, smell our product in real time, that they don't have to wait for it or hope that it's what it is, I think that really helps.
Okay. So, where can people purchase your teas both in person and online?
So next year is a little busy. So I this year, let's start with this year. So this year I'm at the Bougie Book Tour, my very first, y'all be gentle with me, very first book vendor event. Mind you, I'm also a sponsor. Okay. I'm a sponsor. I support my bookish
Yeah,
folk.
mother.
Okay. I sponsor. Okay. And so that's my first one. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to vend at Family First Buyer Always, but I might. Um, so those are the two events you can see the Urban Tea Room, taste the Urban Tea Room at those two events for this year. For next year, I will be at Chocolate City Lit. I will also be at Black Romance Book Fest,
Come on now.
and I will be at Faye and the A.
Come on
So
now.
I am places next year.
That's the shit I'm talking about.
I'm places next year, and I'm really excited about it because I don't think anybody would have known about me or noticed me if it wasn't for you guys. You guys, Coco, Sean, all of you guys talking about me, sharing, cheering, trying my product, seeing my product, tasting it, letting other people know about it, and I really just appreciate the opportunities.
No question. No question. All right. So, what piece of advice you give to other entrepreneurs starting a business in the bookish community, especially Black women?
Hmm. Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. If you don't ask, you won't know. And that was really what I did. Some people came to me, but other people I sent a message and this was like, hey, this is who I am. Would you happen to be interested? And if they say no, it's okay. And if they say yes, I'm like, yay, I got another one. And a lot of times I've gotten back all positive feedback. So it's been great. And every single package I try to put together, I try to make it better and better and trying to improve on it so that people can be like, her packaging is great. Her
Oh
quality is
shit! Here
great.
from my husband.
I know her packaging is great and her quality is great.
Oh, anywho, so what's your social media handles so people can connect with you?
at the tea at the Urban Tea Room on everything. At the Urban Tea Room on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, you can find me.
All right. So I'm finna do this outro because he looked like he about to cuss me out.
Okay,
Um.
we don't want him upset. Please
All
do your
right.
outro.
I'm coming. So Natalie, your story is such a beautiful reminder that culture, literature, and wellness can live in the same space and thrive. You've shown us that a simple cup of tea can hold history, healing, and a good story all at once. To the listeners, make sure you check out the Urban Tea Room, grab yourself a blend, and support her work. Natalie, thank you for pouring into us today, literally and figuratively. So, as I always say, stay loved.